All right, all right, all right. We're back.
Welcome back, everybody.
We're back, baby. We're going to talk about the Superman, the new Superman, the James Gunn movie.
Oh, yeah?
That just came out recently. I think it was
I can't
last
comment
week.
much. I didn't watch it.
Nick didn't see it. I saw it, but there was a reason Nick was kind of hesitant and like he really wasn't excited about seeing it. I'm kind of glad he didn't. I think in the future, maybe if he watches it like or streams it just to view it.
I was gonna take initially I was gonna see it with you and my girlfriend because that's why I'm showing her. By the way, I just showed her the original Superman, Christopher Reeves. I didn't realize how fantastic that movie was. Like the first time I watched it, I'm like, this is a good movie. This time, like anytime the theme played, I actually had a big smile on my face. The movie's fantastic. Honestly.
It's an amazing movie.
I think it might actually be so far anyway, my favorite Superman. I thought I liked Superman 2 better, but I need to rewatch 2 just to get a better idea.
I agree with you. I thought initially that too, but when you see, it was maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I went with my friend Jim Nagel. I don't even know what happened to Jim Nagel. If by chance this video ever finds Jim Nagel, dude, reach out to me. I mean, fantastic human being. Don't know. He just fell off the face of the earth. Oof. We went downtown at the downtown Cleveland movie theater and saw the original
at Tower City?
Superman at Tower City.
Man.
On a big screen. They had a special showing for one day. There were like 2 or 3 times you could go catch it, and you fall back in love with that movie when you watch it on a big screen. The very first Superman. Christopher Reeve, the only other character I can think of in any comic. Really, any movie, period. I don't know if you agree with this. Mm-hmm. Like Robert Downey Jr. playing Iron Man, you can't picture anybody else playing that part. Christopher Reeve.
I think Hugh Jackman's Wolverine is in that top bracket as well.
That's another one.
But even that, thanks to Henry Cavill being Wolverine, Deadpool Wolverine, I think I could see Henry Cavill, but still, like when I think Wolverine, I think Hugh Jackman.
Right?
I don't think of any of the voice actors.
You think
of
Iron Man, you
that.
think of Robert Downey, right? When you think of Superman, I mean, Henry Cavill he's a great.
I really like Henry Cavill.
I really liked him,
and that's not just because of my age, guys.
But
I do respect Christopher
Reeve. Actually, you feel like you're watching Superman.
Yeah,
it's like you remember the movie Lincoln with Daniel Day-Lewis.
I still haven't watched that, by the way.
Phenomenal movie.
I've heard that he's like the best Abraham Lincoln.
You actually think you're watching Abraham Lincoln when you're watching Superman. You know it's a movie. You know it's a comic book story, but you actually think you get sucked in because Christopher Reeve embodied Superman so well.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Great movie.
I want to just hit this really quick. It'll only take like 2 minutes.
Right.
Is what Daniel Day-Lewis's Lincoln.
Got a little reverb.
Sorry about the reverb, guys. Correct me if I'm wrong.
It happens when you film in a barn in 100-degree heat.
Yeah. But from what I heard about Daniel Day-Lewis's, I heard he did so well because didn't he basically never leave the role?
No, he never broke character.
He practiced his walk. He practiced his lines. He practiced his.
He was Lincoln 24/7, on set,
Seriously?
off set.
See, I don't know why I haven't watched it.
Character. It's an amazing movie. It's a great story about an actor buying into a role. I mean, he embodies Lincoln. You think you're watching Abraham Lincoln. I can remember watching that movie and getting sucked in. It was another.
And I heard, wasn't that like a struggle for him? I
love the movie. The girl I went with was, this is boring. It's all about history and like.
Yes, that's what it's about. It's about Lincoln.
It's about history. Yeah,
no, Lincoln's going to be about
a president.
Yeah, Lincoln's going to be about a romantic comedy of chicks going to sorority home. Like, what did you want?
I mean,
that's like me going to a Marvel movie and expecting it to be a horror movie. Like, you can't do that.
I really question my judgment sometimes. People that I've chose to spend time with, ladies and gentlemen, it's been bad. But anyways, I mean, to go back, the original Superman movie, phenomenal movie.
Yeah. And as far as I remember, 2 is equally, if not a little more amazing than 1. Again,
both
I can't remember.
Fantastic movies. Yeah.
Sure. What did you want to know?
Well, let's segue into like we were talking about the original Superman and how Christopher Reeve embodies the character so well. Cavill did a terrific job. This new Superman, what's the guy's name?
David Cornsweet or something like that.
I think that's how you pronounce
I really don't know.
Name.
Here's how much I care about the film. I didn't even bother trying to memorize his last name because I have nothing against the actor. He seems like a cool person, and he seems like, whatever. I just don't care about this new one.
100%, and I get where you were coming from before, and after seeing it, and whenever you do see it or you view it, even if it's a little bit of it, you'll substantiate why you didn't want to see the movie.
Sure.
But he, as a character, him as Superman, he was terrific. He wasn't Christopher Reeve, he wasn't even Cavill, but he's a very good Superman.
Okay, well...
I think the one guy, who was the one guy? Brandon Roush or something?
Brandon Routh.
Or Ralph, is that how you pronounce his last name? I would say, he wasn't terrible, but out of the 4 people that played that role, main people, I would say that Cornsweet did a more efficient job. He was more likable, and he had almost like that Christopher Reeve, not to the magnitude, not to the level, but he had that quality where you think you're watching Superman. But he was cast in such I'm just going to say it, Gunn I don't know what he did, if he shot like 4 or 5 hours of footage and then he just had to chop it down. The plot does not segue, I know you didn't see it, but the plot doesn't segue and sequence, the cadence of the movie is so strange. I went with my nephew. We both got done. We looked at each other, didn't say a word, and we both said at the same time, which was kind of funny. I love my nephew. He's a great kid. Shout out to Richie. You're going to be going through a lot over the next couple of weeks. I love you. Uncle Brian loves you. We both said C. It's like a C movie. Was it terrible? No. Is it enjoyable? For kids? Yeah.
That's what I heard was that it's a good family.
It's very comic booky, if that's even a word.
James Gunn did say it. Now, I think the way he worded it now, based on what you're telling, what everyone has said, what he did was, now, you didn't watch like the animated series growing up, but so I'm a big, man, I could spend 30 minutes just talking about this, but I'm going to try to just condense it in a short time frame, so what he initially said was he wanted to make a DC universe based on the Superman, Batman the Animated Series, Justice League Animated Series. Mm-hmm. So there was a universe that started in 1993 with the Batman the Animated Series, where Kevin Conroy was Batman, may he rest in peace, and Mark Hamill was the Joker.
Okay.
And then Superman the Animated Series, I couldn't tell you the dude's name, but the guy who voiced acted Superman was really good. And he also did him in the Justice League show. And they were both in the same universe, and then would segue into Batman Beyond, which is set after Batman the Animated Series, where Bruce Wayne is older and Terry McGinnis carries on. And I have to show you sometime. It's my favorite cartoons of all time. It's Batman the Animated Series, or should I say the new animated series, is the best cartoon ever made in history. And
it's a big statement.
So that universe, and the reason why is because, dude, I really like this description of Batman the Animated Series and that series, that universe as a whole. They told adult stories to children with those shows. So, like, Batman not having parents, they told that story to children. With Superman, they showed his origin to kids. They showed the new Batman the Animated Series, they showed Batgirl being killed in a kids show. Because they managed to tell that story so geniusly. Nobody can do that. And James Gunn, what he said was he wanted to make a universe based on that. And I think he was half right and half... Again, I haven't seen the movie, guys, so...
I have. I can comment.
But based on what he said, it's like he's half right and wrong. So he's half right that it was for family and kids, which is what those TV shows were made for. But he's missing the other half, which is it still has those adult elements where if my son and I watch Batman the Animated Series, he's going to look at it as, oh, this is cool and fun. But I'm going to look at it as, this is fun, like cool, but depressing. Like, there was one point where in the first Batman show, I cried, actually, because Batman, there was an episode where Batman was working with I can't remember if it was a, like, TV hero that he grew up with or something that turned a villain, or that guy was a victim of a villain, and Batman saved him, and, he thanked Batman for saving him. He goes, well, you were a hero for me. You were a hero for me when I was a guy. I used to watch your show with my father. And I teared up there because that's emotional, man. They told that story to children. Leon, my son's not going to comprehend that. But for me, I'm like, oh, man. And that is not, again, based on what you and everyone have said about this new Superman film, it's not present. It's not there. And then that segues into what my initial problems with the movie was going to be, and I'm happy to say at least one of them was wrong, which is I said, based on the trailer, and so did you, that it looked like dark and depressing, like everyone like throwing crap at Superman. The beginning of the trailer shows Superman on the ground, like all bloody and stuff.
Dark, no. I'm not to interrupt you. Dark, no. Depressing, I mean, that is a vibe. There is a little bit of depressing. It's because Superman needs help throughout the movie.
That's what I heard too. And I'm
like,
it's Superman needs help every time?
Superman. What are we doing here?
Well, since when did he need help from anybody when there was no kryptonite involved?
Every single obstacle in the movie, whether it's a foe from within or a foe like exterior, like a villain, he always needs help to accomplish the goal. It's crazy to me because it's Superman. Like, what are you talking about?
Batman might need help, but not him.
Your one known thing is kryptonite, which they do to the nth degree in the movie. I'm not going to spoil it, but I mean, they basically almost kill Superman with kryptonite in the movie. It's kind of, that's one part of the movie which can be considered a positive, because it takes you to the point where you're like, is Superman even going to make it? And it's like, again, you have a heartfelt moment in a movie, but you have to remind yourself, you're watching Superman. Like, you can't kill Superman unless you have like a boatload of kryptonite. Like, I just didn't understand
or
the premise of,
or if you have Doomsday in there.
We got to make Superman even be like very human. He's not human. He's not. He's an alien with superpowers.
And this is my issue.
He's a great guy. I like Superman.
I do too.
I even, as a kid, I tried to do that little squirrely with the hair in the front. Like, I mean, everybody wanted to be Superman.
I wanted to comment really quick
He's not human. Like, why are they trying to humanize him and almost, like, bring in elements that are in the political culture, like, right now? Like, during the movie, there was almost like, and I'm just going to say it, I know they've denied it, or there was a very Palestine-Israel reference.
They seriously did that?
When you watch the movie, you guys will see what I'm talking about. And I was like, you don't need to do that. It's irrelevant.
And I want to make this clear, and I also wanted to comment on something earlier I just forgot to until, well, you mentioned the twirly thing, now I'm thinking of Brandon Routh, I'm going to just say this right now. I understand that at some points comics were political, but let me tell you something now. There's political, and then there's politically relevant. So a lot of comic books have been political. If X-Men wasn't political, X-Men wouldn't be X-Men. Stan Lee literally admitted that Professor Xavier was Martin Luther King and Magneto was Malcolm X. So that is political. But he made it clear that was the purpose of humans versus mutants and coming together, and then the mutant supremacy and all that. That's different. But when you're trying to make a movie, a comic book film, about an issue that did not exist when Superman was a thing, I don't want your politics in my media. The point of movies, and this is why I've been
unnecessary.
This is my problem with media nowadays, and why I don't go unless you take me, because you have your little thing where stocks get you free gift cards. And hey, I appreciate every time you take me to a movie, even if the movie's dog shit. Like Civil War, for example.
Whoa!
No, like Civil War. Remember? Not Captain America Civil War. It's called Civil War.
Oh, that movie was terrible. Oh my god.
That's not even a movie, but anyway.
I remember that movie.
So my whole thing is...
it was so bad. I forgot all about that. Trying to put it out of my brain.
Unfortunately, I remind every time I go on Prime and it'll say Civil War, you can Street Fighter. I'm like, I'm not watching that. But anyway, my issue with media nowadays is, and I will say this for right or left, I don't need your politics of if the Republican says this is why the Democrats are a problem. I don't need that in a superhero film. And then the left says, oh, like we need media to talk about like what you just said, like a reference to Israel, Palestine. Dude, I go to see movies, I play video games, and watch TV shows, so I don't have to deal with that. Because for our channel and just in general, if I'm to keep up with everything, I have to do that every single day. Don't give me a movie.
That's why you want to dive in, right? It takes you away from all of this stuff.
Yes.
And you kind of enter someplace, if it's utopia or if it's just relaxing, it takes you away from your general worries, everyday concerns.
My favorite game of all time.
That's why people love the initial launch of all the comic book universe. It just takes you away to a place where you know it's not real, but sometimes it feels like it's real and it's enjoyable. Interjecting all this nonsense into a film that already has structural problems is why the movie didn't work.
And you say
if it wasn't Superman, then I mean you probably walk out of the movie. It's just that who doesn't like Superman? So the movie's decent. That's a great word to use for the new Superman launch movie, the James Gunn movie.
So what you told me about the structure of the film, imagine like only filming, what was it, 5 hours or something?
Yeah, it's just,
you know what that sounds like to me? That sounds exactly like what they went through with the recent Captain America movie, where they said that they had to do multiple reshoots, and even people I know who liked it, and I did hear like it's the best bad movie. Like if you have to take the list of bad movies in the MCU, I hear like that's the best one to watch, and then forget the others. But I heard that with Brave New World. By the way, it's supposed to be New World Order, but of course the controversy of that statement, they changed to Brave New World. Fun fact for everybody. And they said that the movie, it definitely looked like it was not put together. Like the reshooting was terrible to the point that they did not have proper transitions to different things. Like they just didn't do it. That sounds like the problem that the new Superman movie has. And my issue with DC, and why I was initially saying, like, I told you that why I wasn't that interested is, first off, they brought back Henry Cavill again for Black Adam at the end, only to fire him again. So I think that was just a dick move. And then James Gunn comes in as one of the heads of DC, and he just says, oh no, we don't need this. And then they come out with the trailer, and I'm like, this looks depressing and dark. It's like the same thing. Now, you said it's not a dark movie. It's good for family and kids.
It's not a particularly dark movie. There is an era of depression, and I think the depressing notion of the movie itself comes from the fact that you're waiting for Superman, and here's the key point, to be Superman. Like but it never really fully comes.
On the Piers Morgan show, I didn't like this.
It's disappointing.
So Piers Morgan did an episode where I can't believe I forget his name because he's been on there 5 different times. He played one of the Supermen. You probably know who it is.
Dean Cain.
Who?
Dean Cain.
Dean
Lois
Cain.
Clark.
Okay.
He played in the TV series.
And so he
with
didn't say
Terry Hatcher, by the way.
So he had him and like 3 Nerdrotic and 2 other men on. And one of them, I forget who it was. I feel like it was Nerdrotic or James from Jeremy from Freaks, Geeks and Gamers.
Yep.
And he said, and I think this sums up best. And again, I have not watched the movie, but what it sounds like, and I can believe this coming from Jeremy, is this movie should have been made by someone with an American flag in their front yard. Like, someone who's like, America, F yeah, like, I embrace, like, the Constitution and the American dream. James Gunn, and I'm not going to make the claim that James Gunn hates America, or so I don't think that, although I disagree with him plenty, is he doesn't have that persona. He doesn't have that. And the other problem that James Gunn was dealing with was what made James Gunn special. And I kind of like the way my friend plays. So credit to my friend on PlayStation. I won't put him out just in case he doesn't want me to say his name on there. So what he said was, what he does very well is he introduces elements that are super unpopular and makes them popular. Case in point, his best example is the Guardians movie, the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. Before Guardians, nobody knew about them. Correct. Nobody. He directed the 3 movies, and to this day, there are plenty of people who I talked to where they said, some people say their favorite Marvel movie are all like any of the Guardians movies.
Any of the Guardians movies. I have lots of people that say that.
Yeah. And again, he took something unpopular and made it popular.
Correct.
And I think that is a special thing. Whereas Superman, regardless of what he's gone through in regards to the reboots, like Christopher Reeves and then Brandon Routh and then Henry Cavill, now David, what's his last name? Cornsweet. I think that's what it sounds.
I think that's how you pronounce it. It could be.
Forgive us if we got it
slightly
wrong.
off, but it's kind of
he didn't need to do that with Superman. Sorry, guys.
That's okay.
He didn't need to do that with Superman. He did not need to do that. So he was already struggling with that. And again, he doesn't have the wave of the American flag, America, F.A.N. stuff. He doesn't have that for Superman. I've been told, like, people who love James Gunn's work, all of it, say he shouldn't have done this movie. That's just what they said. Not me.
It's just the plot itself is just very. It's average at best, all the way across. It's
Can I ask you something about the movie?
But I will say this: the inclusion of Crypto, the dog, the super dog.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. Like, I will say that.
I always loved Crypto.
It was cool.
His show.
Like, there were some scenes in there that were hilarious. The dog is, like, lovable. I think they overplayed their hand with the dog. Because at times, it's like the dog saves Superman. Oh, what are we doing here?
Can I ask you something regarding
we're watching Superman. Is he invincible? No, not entirely, but pretty much he's Superman.
He's very, without kryptonite, unless you're up his level, he's not someone that you go toe-to-toe with unless you're Batman with kryptonite fists. And I want to ask you something else. So, this is just a general question. I don't want to quote any sources, so I'll just ask you.
Yeah.
Is this like here's how Superman comes to be and whatever, or the movie starts out like he's already like full-blown Clark Kent working at the Daily Planet and being Superman? Yeah. Oh, so there's no like origin story. They're not like, here's Kal-El from the planet Krypton and now...
They go back. They try to, like, part of the plot is, and again, I don't like to give away too much.
And by the way, I heard what they did with the parents, I think it was terrible.
They try to make the parents like semi-bad guys that they didn't entirely tell Superman, Clark Kent, like the story or his real purpose by putting him on planet Earth or sending him away. So it's kind of ambiguous is a great word to use. It's, again, part of the problem with the plot. It doesn't fit together great. It just fits together loosely. You have some nice choreography, some nice special effects. You got the inclusion of the dog, and it's very comic booky looking in terms of color. There are some points in the movie where it's like, wow, I saw it in 3D, so it might have enhanced that. So, but it's like full of color. It's okay. It's just an okay movie. I don't discourage anybody to see it. I looked at my nephew. He told me something that was profound. He goes, Uncle Brian, I'm not going to go, like, I'm never ever going to want to watch this movie again. It's just a movie we watched. I enjoyed it because I watched it with you, and you move on with your life.
That sounds, you know what that sounds like, and we'll leave you guys on this note. You know what that sounds like to me? That sounds like you, me, and Thor 4 back in 2022.
Yeah, Love and Thunder.
It's like
100%.
We mainly enjoyed it
because we watched it
together. But I feel like if I watch it
have you watched that movie since?
I watched one scene from it, and the only reason was because my brother, when it came to Disney Plus, he was watching it too, and I happened to be in the same room.
Correct. Yeah. But there's nothing where you like go to your phone on a Tuesday night.
I will say, okay,
like a John Wick scene that you pull up, right?
That's actually a lie. There are two scenes I've seen. One I like to watch quite a bit because it's just a really good beginning, and that's actually the beginning of Thor 4 when Welcome to the Jungle plays. That scene's awesome.
It's not bad.
That one's really awesome. Like I just think the song is a good one for that. Everything else. The only thing I remember was how bad Russell Crowe was in Zeus.
So Nick didn't see it, so we'll just finish out with a final grade. I'll give it a C, and I'm sure Nick would have gave it a lower grade, but we'll just finish off with a C grade for the new Superman.
I have one final thing to say on that, and why I'm not going to watch, and why I'm probably not going to go see it now, like pay with my own money, is because James Gunn, as usual, Hollywood needs to put their 2 cents in and bring their politics into superhero media. That's when he said, "Oh, Superman's an immigrant." Seriously? He came from a planet adopted American values. He's not just some immigrant that came in for national sovereignty. He came there because his parents sent them down there, and a group of average Joes picked him up, raised him, and now he's the American hero.
Said some really precarious stuff leading up to the movie, so it's bizarre in general.
Yeah, so
like,
that's why.
And it fits because the movie itself is...
I don't have a problem with you having your politics, but keep it out of your media. That's just my 2 cents. Right. So what's the last thing we're going to be talking
Superman.
about?
That's what I heard at the massage parlor.
Oh, yeah. One last quick
thing. You a Superman. We're not talking about that. That's a different story.
One last
for another podcast.
One last
massage
thing.
Special.
I actually, so based on what you told me, on what you told me about like where you rank, I'll just tell you this right now. I think Brandon Routh was actually really good as Superman. I will say that my issue was, I feel like he wasn't happy enough as Superman. I feel like he was really like.
There was something
good
about
to meet you,
him.
Lois. Like I feel like he tried too hard.
I used the word stiff. There was something about his performance.
I liked him, but
that was his interpretation, I suppose. He was a little stiff.
I think he was unbalanced. I think he was good for when Superman needed to be serious and he means business, like with Lex Luthor. But when it was like time for be laid back, relax, you're Clark Kent. I feel like he was Superman all the time. He was never Clark Kent.
This new dude has a playful side to him, like Christopher Reeve, and that's what made Cavill excellent in the role too.
All right.
He had that relaxed notion on the other side of Clark Kent, Superman. So I just think there are more balanced portrayals of the character, how I see Superman. But I mean, I could be wrong. I didn't say Ralph or however you pronounce his last name.
Yeah.
Brandon played the role well. If you had to categorize,
I think he was just Superman.
You're going up
against
a legend, and you're going up against somebody that did it really well in Cavill. Cavill looks like Superman. And you believe you're watching Superman.
And there's a debate right now, and this is the last thing I'll say. There's a debate that Superman Returns, while not an official sequel to Christopher Reeves, a lot of people connect that movie to Christopher Reeves, so they really hold him on that pedestal compared to Christopher Reeves. So what's the last thing we're going to be?
We're going to be talking about some comments because the last will always surround it. The segment's called Fletch's Love Language, but it doesn't have to be about my dating life or the dating life
it's just
in American society. It's just loosely on like discussion about men, women, how we fit together, how we interact, so on and so forth. We're going to talk about some comments that Charlize Theron made on a podcast.
Oh yeah, you told me to watch that. Oh no.
It was insane. A little late to the game. I think this was the first few days of July that she went on a podcast.
Hey, better late than never.
Call Her Daddy was just like a very...
Well, that's not what we're going to be talking about here, so we'll see you guys over there.
Very popular podcast. Yeah, again, I don't care for it, but and she probably doesn't care for people like us. But
she will most definitely not care for people like us.
But she made some very precarious comments, and it's going to lead into discussion about men and women and how they view each other in today's world, present day reality. I had a thing happen, like it happened today, so I'll tell you guys about that. It's hilarious because it details exactly what Charlize Theron, the problems with her statements, and just the dating world in general.
All right.
So
Well, we'll definitely
be back
catch
here
up
in
on
a
that.
couple seconds.
Couple seconds, yeah, definitely a couple of seconds.
Tank
All right, guys.
Top Edition. Be back in action.